They took Fear Factor, locked it in a house, and said, good luck. From panic attacks to gross challenges, I'm recapping every wild moment. This is Kinda Unhinged. What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. I'm back with another Fear Factor House of Fear video, and we are on season 1, episode 5. So we begin this episode with Zach being very upset that he was back in the end game another time. And he said he's tired of getting pushed around by Dita and Ethan, and he wants to fight back. He said initially he was going after the girls, but now he's going after them. Then we see Damien, Ethan, and Dita dancing in the yard when all of a sudden they notice a whale out in the water, which of course sets us up for this episode's challenge. So they were randomly put into 2 groups of 5. So they're harnessed to this platform that is plunged into the water for an unknown interval of time. And this will happen repeatedly for longer intervals of time. And the team who can last the longest before 3 teammates release themselves will win. So team 1 was comprised of Lance, Rob, Blake, Chelsea, and Jaylene. And team 2 was Damien, Ethan, Dita, Zach, and Danielle. So when they harness up team 1 and they're standing up there on that platform, I'm literally getting nervous. I'm nervous as if I'm being harnessed and being plunged into the water. Like, it was so scary. It's almost as if I could feel their energy through the screen because they were terrified. So as they start to go down for the first plunge, right before they go in, Jaylene is begging them, like, I can't do this. So I was nervous for her. I didn't know if she was gonna make it, but she did. And the first dip lasted for 30 seconds. The second dip was 40 seconds, and the third dip was 60 seconds. And all 5 of the team members made it through the first 3 dips. But on the 4th one, which was 90 seconds, Jaylene tapped out. And then on the 5th dip, Blake tapped out. And Jaylene and Blake looked so cold even after they were out of the water. You could see members of production like literally holding blankets around them, trying to keep them warm. And I felt so bad for them. So they're down to Lance, Blake, and Chelsea. But on the 6th plunge, Chelsea taps out. And I think that they did a really good job because this seemed like the hardest task yet. So now it was team 2's turn. They all make it through the first dip. And then after the second one, Damien taps out. And then Dita taps out on the 3rd. And Zach had said in his confessional before this competition even started that he might throw this one so that Ethan and Dita can be in the hot seat because he's upset that they put him in the end game every single time. So when he sees that Dita has tapped out, he's like, all right, now's my opportunity, and he taps out during the 4th round, which means that the first team was the winners. And Johnny tells them that there is a new twist. So they will get to choose one person to play in the end game, and then that person will get to pick one other person to go head to head in an in-game challenge. So this makes it a lot trickier on who they're gonna choose to play in this end game. So team 1 is going through the options of who they can choose. They felt like if they picked Dita or Ethan, that they would probably pick Damien to go against them. But they thought if they pick Zach, that he'll probably pick one of the guys. So they thought that he was a safer choice to pick. So then as they're hanging out, they get a knock at the door, and it's Johnny. And he's like, because you guys have made it to the halfway point, I decided that we should have a party and we should celebrate. And I knew that was too good to be true, but they let their guard down. They were having a good time. They were eating, they were partying, they were having fun. And then toward the end of the night, Johnny said, well, I not only came to bring the party, but I also came to bring the end game. So we're doing it right now. So we get to the end game, and team 1 chooses Zach. And Johnny gives the players the opportunity to plead their case for why Zach shouldn't pick them. And Ethan and Dita basically told him, if you pick us, we're gonna beat you. And Damien begged him not to pick her because she's claustrophobic. And then Zach pissed off everybody when he chose Damien. And they're like, you've been acting like you're so big and bad and you want to get all these people out and then you go after a girl. And he's like, well, I had to even the playing field, so I picked her. I know that upset a lot of people. So in this challenge, they were chained in this chamber and they were put in a straitjacket. So they had to release themselves from a straitjacket and then they had to pick up this thing of keys and pick the right one and let themselves out of the chamber. So Damien releases her hands so quick and she's able to free herself from the straitjacket quicker than Zach. And she's going through all of these keys trying to find the right one. And everyone is pulling for Damien, including me. I'm literally standing up in my living room because this was such an intense moment. And then Zach frees himself, so he's catching up. So Damien is going through the keys and she's getting frustrated because she's like, it's not any of these keys. And finally, she finds the right key. But she's trying to get the lock off and she's having a hard time getting the lock off. Zach finds his correct key as well and he pushes out of his chamber just a few seconds before Damien and hits the buzzer. I mean, it was literally a few seconds that he beat her by. And everyone was pissed. They were pissed. And so was I because obviously we're all cheering for Damien. Because really, Zach, you've been talking about how you want Ethan and Dita out and you were too scared to go against them. And Damien is so well liked in the house that even Johnny is crying. But Damien had a good run in this game and I think she conquered a lot of her fears. But that was pretty much it for this episode, guys. You guys let me know what y'all thought about it in the comments down below. And if you want more Fear Factor House of Fear content, then go ahead and subscribe and I will see you in the next one.